Hi guys, what's up? Tori here. So I'm here today with my 28-week pregnancy update. I'm 28 weeks and 3 days today. Today would be Tuesday, September 22 of 2020. And 28 weeks means I am officially in the third trimester, y'all. Like, whoo, we're getting there. We're in the home stretch. Like, I'm I'm getting to that point in pregnancy where it's like, all right, I'm getting very much ready to just get her out of me and into the world. So yes, definitely very happy to now officially be in the third trimester, being in week 28. So I will now go on into all the updates with things. We'll first start off with all the updates with where baby is at developmentally this week. So baby is now about 16 inches long, or the size of a coconut. Well, they have said around 16 inches, maybe just under 16 inches. And she is also weighing in at probably around just under 2.25 pounds or 2.25 pounds, so just under that point. Her adrenal glands are secreting androgen or estrogen, telling my body to start getting ready to lactate and begin lactation. Her wrinkles are starting to disappear as she puts on fat, and putting on that fat also helps her to regulate her body temperature more, which is really important for outside of the womb. And she is also now starting to dream and go in and out of REM sleep, which is really cool in my opinion. Like, she's kind of starting to get even more of like that human personality and stuff going on. She is also coughing and practicing breathing now inside the womb, so she is getting even more ready to be able to breathe and function outside of the room in that way. So yeah, that's all the updates with where baby is at developmentally for this week. All the updates for me, so mostly just a lot of kind of more physical things to update on. Definitely been having a lot of back achiness lately, mostly over the weekend. This past weekend, Matt and I went up north and stayed at a little bed and breakfast, which it was so amazing and relaxing. We did that for our anniversary because our first anniversary was yesterday. We've been married for a year now officially, which is crazy. But we went away over the weekend just to do kind of a little mini getaway, which was so, we needed it so badly. It was so amazing, so relaxing. We had such a good time. It was so nice just to have the time, just the two of us and all of that. And definitely was noticing a lot of back achiness over the weekend. It could be just sleeping on a different bed too. I did take my pregnancy pillow with me to help me get as good of a night's sleep as possible, but I think the mattress just was different than our mattress. Is different from what I'm used to, and I think that kind of was the main contributing factor to having some back achiness and all of that. I've just in general been noticing more achiness, even in my hips and stuff too, and a lot and stuff. So just kind of starting to hit that point. I am starting to notice a little bit of shortness of breath on occasion. Not anything bad, not like I'm suddenly just sitting there out of nowhere going or anything like that, or I'll notice it, and I'm starting to notice it a little bit more when I try to do when I go for walks, or when I try to do some exercises too. I notice it just a tiny bit more too. Again, nothing bad, nothing out of the ordinary. You might even notice it here while I'm talking. I might maybe take a little bit more of a breath than normal, but again, it's nothing major. It's not anything like that it's concerning me or anything, but I am just starting to notice that more, which is probably just a sign of her growing and starting to take up room in my rib cage and lungs and press against my lungs more and stuff. So that's probably just kind of all that is, and it's honestly a normal, I've read, it's a completely normal thing at this stage too. So yeah, so I have definitely noticed that. And also while traveling over this weekend, I noticed that I got a little bit puffy while traveling. Again, nothing major, just kind of I noticed my rings on my hand were feeling much tighter, and I noticed my feet were even looking a hair bit puffy, and I noticed it mostly in my hands. It was mostly in my hands that I noticed it. I noticed it a tiny bit in my feet, and I was it was just kind of whoa, because I really haven't had any puffiness really in general. And so I asked, I texted my aunt about it, and she was like, oh yeah, that's completely normal, especially when you're pregnant and when you're traveling. It can happen just because you're doing things kind of out of the normal. It just kind of throws your body off, and you're maybe not eating normal too, which we definitely were not eating normal. We did I mean, we stayed at a bed and breakfast, so we were given a breakfast, which it was like really a pretty, in general, nice, healthy little breakfast. But then like our other meals were just kind of like out of the norm. Like they weren't typical meals. Like we were doing out to eat food and stuff that wasn't necessarily our norm, and definitely not my norm. So that definitely probably had a contributing factor to it. So there probably was some fluid retention and stuff too going on. But again, it was just very slight. It was nothing like crazy. It was nothing like I suddenly ballooned or anything. It was just kind of some slight that I noticed. To help with the ickiness, I've like caved in and started doing some warm baths. The bed and breakfast we stayed in actually had a jet tub, and I made use of that. It felt so good. And again, like warm baths, like obviously I'm watching the temperature and being safe, but kind of been using that. And I actually took one when we got home from our trip too, because my back was so achy that night. So I just was like, you know what, I'm just gonna relax and do that. So I have done a couple of warm baths, which have been really nice. So I honestly might start making use of doing that a little bit more often too. And then another thing I wanted to bring up is I noticed like last week she had a couple of days where she was like really quiet and not like kicking near as much as she normally does, and it had me like it was like I would feel her a little bit kind of here and there throughout the day, but it'd be kind of like a kick here, she'd be quiet for a long time, and maybe one or two kicks there, be really quiet for a long time. And like I just didn't feel her near as much, and especially like I was having it even at night where I wasn't feeling her near as much. And it was only maybe like a couple of days. Like I'm like Thursday and Friday were for sure like probably the main days where I was like not feeling her as much. Maybe kind of Wednesday a little bit too, and it was like I was having a couple days where I just didn't feel her as much, and like it almost had me like nervous for a minute there, because I'm used to her. Like, I'm used to her being, like, quieter during the day for sure, where, like, I don't feel her near as often during the day. And I feel her a ton at night, but I wasn't even feeling her, like, a super duper ton at night, so it was just kind of like it was out of the norm from what I was used to feeling, and it just had me nervous for a little bit. But then it was, like, all of a sudden over the weekend, she just, like, bam, picked up again and was right back to normal. So I was like, I don't know why she had those couple of days where she just was quieter. Maybe she just was positioned differently and weird or something where I just wasn't able to feel her as much, or maybe like she had like maybe my placenta was more in the way or something. Who knows? But it was literally just a couple of days. And it's not like I didn't feel her at all. I still felt her like a little bit periodically here and there. I just didn't feel her in the way I was normally feeling her. So like it had me nervous for like a brief moment, but then it was like all of a sudden she just picked right back up to her normal again. So, and she's been back to normal the last few days again, like just her normal activeness that I normally feel there. So who knows what it was, if she just had herself positioned differently or something was in the way or whatever, who knows. But yeah, she's completely fine. It's completely back to normal again. So I'm not really concerned anymore. But I did just kind of want to bring that up. And then the last thing I'm going to definitely bring up is definitely like, in general, like starting to feel like that third trimester, like, oh, I'm getting ready to just be done being pregnant. Like I definitely am so tired by the time the end of the day hits and it's time for bed. Like I am so ready to hit my bed. Like, and I'm usually not one that falls asleep very quickly. It usually takes me quite a while to fall asleep. I've been falling asleep so fast lately at night. Like literally normally I will probably lay there like a good between half hour to an hour before I actually fall asleep. I've been falling asleep probably within 15 to 20 minutes lately, like if that. Like it just kind of depends on the night. Like I've been falling asleep so much faster than I normally do lately, and just definitely really beginning to feel it and beginning to kind of hit that point of like I just want time to go faster so this pregnancy can get done. And like I'm just starting to hit that. Like it's probably literally been in like the last like week, not even maybe full week, like the last few days for sure. Like I'm just really starting to hit that point of like, okay, I am wanting to be done being pregnant. I'm wanting to like, and I think more so I'm just wanting to get my body back. Like I'm wanting to like, you know, feel the way I felt before I was pregnant again. Like, and I want to like, and two, like I think because like my appetite is so screwy with being pregnant too, like, and like it's harder for me to like be completely normal like with how I was before I got pregnant, like routine and eating wise and all that and exercise wise and stuff. Like I just want to like get back into that so bad. Like I want my body back. And I think too part of it is that whole mental thing of watching the scale go up too, and just like I want to like get everything back. Like, you know, I don't you know, like it's making me feel like, no, I'm going backwards, even though like technically I'm not. Like it's really all just baby weight. Like I'm sure once she is born, I'll probably drop a fair amount of weight, and then whatever weight I have left to lose, it'll just be a matter of I gotta work it off kind of thing. But it's like, you know, I think it's more of a mental thing for me than anything else. And I definitely am feeling like the physical things, like it's starting to get harder to, like I can't bend over near as easy anymore. Like I'm starting to try to not bend over as much, and if I do bend over, I'm trying to do it more like with my knees and not like actually bending over at the waist kind of thing. And like certain things are getting tougher, and it's like, oh my gosh, like none of this was tough for me before, and like the idea of it being tough just kind of like, I think mentally makes me think I'm going backwards into like my old way of life before I lost down my weight, when really I'm not. Like I'm just pregnant, like, you know. But I think it's just more messing with me mentally than anything. So I think that's kind of been more of my challenge lately with that, and why I'm so like just wanting to be like, all right, these next several weeks need to just go by fast so I can just not be pregnant anymore and I can get my body back and all of that. So yeah, that's just kind of where I am at with that. But that's pretty much everything. And I do actually I have my next maternal fetal medicine appointment tomorrow. I will be going there, and we will be, you know, getting her size and all that checked again, her growth checked and everything all checked again, and we'll talk with you know, one of the doctors over at maternal fetal medicine again and all that. Sorry if you're hearing noises out there. My husband is mowing the lawn, so he just got home a little while ago and started mowing the lawn. But yeah, so we have that tomorrow, and I do plan on, I have not done my gestational diabetes test yet, just because there's still some back and forth over if I should do the regular glucose test. So I'm also going to ask them while I'm at ask maternal fetal medicine while I'm there tomorrow, and just ask them again, like, should I do the regular glucose test? Is it okay for me to, or should I do the finger pricks? Because I guess if I do the finger pricks, like then I have to fast. Like I have to get like fasting blood sugar levels, and like they were like, oh, well, we can just do it at your appointments. Well, all my appointments are in the afternoon. That would mean I'd have to go like my entire day without eating, which would not be a good thing. Like I can't do that. Like I really can't. I would end up not feeling good, especially like considering I work and all that. Like it just would not be a good plan. So I'm gonna just like confirm with maternal fetal, so then, because then I see my regular OB next week, so then I can officially plan with him setting up my gestational diabetes test and all that. And there is some blood work I need to get done too, so I might get that done while I'm at maternal fetal medicine tomorrow, or I might wait till I also do my gestational diabetes testing, however it is that I do it. So that's still all a work in progress. We'll figure that out and get that done really soon too. So, but that is everything, all the updates I have. So I'm now going to go ahead and show you guys my bump and where I'm at with that. So bump date. So here's with the shirt down, facing forward, facing to the side, my 28-week baby bump. And then with my shirt up, facing forward. I guess I can lower this just a hair. Yeah, facing forward, facing to this side, and then facing to this side. So yes, 28-week baby bump there. Everyone still tells me I look so tiny, and I don't look like I'm anywhere near as far along as I should be. I don't know. It probably looks different on camera than it does in person. Who knows? But everyone still tells me I look so tiny and I'm looking great and all that. So honestly, in a way it feels good, but yet it's kind of like, but I feel so big. Like, what? But yeah. Who knows? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next update video. Bye.